A graph of a quadratic function passes through 6, negative 60, and the zeros are at negative 4 and 2. So this is what we know. It goes through negative 4 and 2, and there's some other point way up here at 6, 60. We need to find the equation of the graph in general form. So right beside general form, the general form is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. The general form is the form that doesn't help us in any way. When you have a graph, you either will start by using this form, or now that we've learned about the factored form, or that form. If you use the blue equation, you need to find A, P, and Q. If you use the green equation, so I'll underline, you need to find A, P, and Q. If you use the green equation, you need to find A, x1, and x2. And x1 and x2 are your x-intercepts. So looking at this and the information that I'm given, do I know my vertex? Is it labeled? No. I would know my axis of symmetry, so I could find P. But then you'd have to do your systems of equations to find A and Q, just like you did on your quiz. If I look at the green equation, do I know both of my x-intercepts? Yes. And since I know both of my x-intercepts, if I start with the green equation, I would have x minus 2, x minus a negative 4 would be x plus 4. The only thing I need to find is A. Do I have another point that I could plug in? Plug. Well, that's the worst way to say plug. Wow. Good thing it's Friday. Plug in the point, 6, negative 60. That means when y, is it 6, negative 60? Sorry, guys, this should be way down here, eh? Negative 60 is equal to A. We know that our x value is 6, so we'd have 6 minus 2, and then 6 plus 4. And now our equation only has A to solve for. 4 times 10 is 40. Divide both sides by 40. Reduce this. A is telling you whether it's wider or narrower, whether it opens up or opens down. And that's true in both forms of the equation. But now we can say that our equation is A is negative 3 over 2, x minus 2, x plus 4. The question asked if we could have it in general form. So in general form, we will need to multiply everything out. If I multiply this out, I'm going to get x squared plus 2x minus 8. Distribute the negative 3 over 2, and I will get negative 3 over 2x squared minus 3x plus 24 over 2, which will be plus 12. So if we look back at everything we did, okay, we wanted the equation. In order to take information and put it in an equation, we have to either use the standard form or the factored form of the equation. Both will work, but generally you pick the one where you know more information from. And in the factored form, you have your a value, which is the same as your a value over here. But in your factored form, you have both x-intercepts. In your standard form, you have your vertex. So since we knew both x-intercepts, that equation made more sense, because then we had only one thing left to solve for, which was a. If you have another point, you can plug that other point in and solve for a. And then we just had to rearrange the equation to get it into general form. Questions for this one? Number 8. And beside question 4 or underneath question 4 in the examples, you can write skip. We're going to skip question 4.